I'd like to start this video with a question to you, the viewer. What would you say in your bbwarz is more fun? Going out in the field with about 60 pounds of gear, everything, you know you look awesome, you've done your research, you put it all together, you finally got that one random piece of gear that you've been searching for through eBay listings and tax swap, and you found it, you get to run it, but you're tired all the time, you're carrying stuff, you're kind of uncomfortable, or maybe not wearing a bunch of gear, running around and playing aggressively, fast, light, kind of making a more kit design just for bbwarz. Can I carry my water? Can I carry my BBs? And can I shoot things? What's better? Right? I don't know. I've played both. That's what I want to talk about today, alright? Fun little video I want to try. Maybe get the comments going a little bit. Let's get some back and forth here and see what's going on and how people feel versus me kind of teaching you stuff on this. So, impression kits versus, I don't know, what do you want to call them? Effective kits or just, you know, bbwarz kits. Building a loadout specifically to just carry things to shoot people and have fun, or doing your research and building that impression kit. You can kind of tell where I stand on the line. But impression kits versus functional kits, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good name for it, but bbwarz kits versus impression kits. What's better? What's more fun? What's better for airsoft? I don't know, but let's explore it. Woo! Baskets. Alright guys, thanks for joining me once again. I'm Mike, your low-key bbwarzer, and again, today I want to go over impression kits versus bbwarz kits. And what I mean by that is impression kits meaning you're more focused on what you're wearing being an impression of a real unit. Or someone, it could not even be a real unit, it could be something of a video game, you know? A couple weekends ago I did a kit based off Medal of Honor Warfighter, and it was so much fun. Awesome. I was carrying way too much kit, but it was pretty cool. Sorry, digressing again. You know me and my videos. Oh man, I go on my tangents. But impression kits where you're building your loadout based on an impression that you're trying to go, versus what you might call a functional kit or a bbwarz kit where you're not really concerned about how you look. Yeah, you got the camo pattern and what color you want to do, but you're more focused on, hey, how fast can I be? How effective can I be? Like at being a bbwarzer, laying down 6mm pellets into someone's face as fast and as effective as you can, whether that be a person wearing a very lightweight plate carrier, a chest rig, whatever an individual deems is necessary. And we've all known it. We've all seen that guy at like open play that's either running around in a sweatshirt and he's absolutely murdering you because he's just running around everywhere and wearing no kit, but having a blast. Or sometimes there's guys, you know, chest rigs and, you know, a lot of guys with their HPA guns, they need a way to carry their tank, but it's kind of more of like, you can tell it's airsoft. Like it doesn't, they don't look like something, they don't look like a unit, but they're having a blast too. So kind of today, the little back and forth of it, going what's best, because I've done both, I've absolutely have, and I've had fun doing both. 100%, I'm going to tell you up front right here, I am way more into the gear and the kitting and impression kits. I derive a lot of fun from that, but I also sometimes just show up to the field with my cheater gun and just shoot people, and it's a lot of fun too. Alright, so big things we want to get into today. So, impression kits. Impression kits, like I said, is modeling what you're wearing to play airsoft. Your gun, your kit, your plate carrier, your helmet, every detail you want to do is modeled after something or a photo, a reference photo, a specific unit and everything. For me, I'm a huge fan of GWAT gear. Like, I grew up into it. I've been overseas a lot in support of the GWAT. I mean, that's when I joined the military and everything was during the heydays of GWAT, second surge. Like, so it has a special place for me, and that's why I love doing it, because I got to see that, you know, golden era of GWAT, that mid, you know, 08 to 2013, 14 right there. I was downrange and I got to see a lot of these guys, especially the special forces, and who wants to be regular infantry, right? No, we all want to look like the cool guys. But I got to see a lot of it, and that just inspired me. And now that I'm older and been playing airsoft for so long, that like I can, as we joke, spend adult money on it and really dive into the details of these impression kits, all right? So, that's kind of like what an impression kit is. Hey, you're taking either, I've seen some guys take a single photo and be like, all right, I'm going to get everything off of this one photo. Basically, it's your one for one. Or there's a general vibe of like, okay, you know, what I have right here is based off 2008 to 2010 75th Ranger Regiment, and specifically the AO of Afghanistan. They did a little bit different in Iraq from my research, but this is more geared towards that Afghanistan campaign, like Task Force Brenton or Objective Brenton, Task Force Merrill era. And that's what I chose to do this off of. And you can do it with whatever. There's a lot of guys that do foreign countries. Or, you know, I'm a big fan of the Australian gear. I really like that. Again, stemming from my tours overseas and everything, I was at Tarancot and worked with the Aussies a lot. And they were just awesome to work with. So that inspired me to get into their gear and start building impression kits for them. All right. With that, that's kind of like, all right, how do you get into it and how do you start building impression gear? All right, everything. And it's pretty easy now in the days of the internet. You don't need to go digging through magazines and obscure forum posts like a couple of us had to do that have been playing this for a very long time before there was so many photos and everything out. But now the accessibility of information is awesome. Google image search, everything. You can find a lot of obscure images, especially of units that are like, hey, don't photograph me. All the photographs are coming up. And it's kind of awesome. All right. It's kind of awesome being able to find these photos, and you're trying to blow up old pixelated photos and find specific pieces of gear. Some guys take a lot of joy in that. I'm one of them. Absolutely. I will sit there for hours and research and try and find as many obscure photos, you know, try and do my thing. I'll put some up here of all my references for this guy right here. You know, going through a bunch of photos and just trying to go through each pixel and blow it up and go, all right, yeah, okay, that's an eagle, that's this pouch, it's this, all right, cool. And then you go over to your eBay, you go over it and you just find it. That's a lot of fun for people. Not necessarily how well it's going to run on the airsoft field, but the feeling you get when you're in your kit. When you're running around with your friends who might be in the same kit. There's nothing like getting a whole group of people together that are in the same like impression kit or era, like especially if you're doing maybe old stuff or a different country or something like that. You get a few guys doing that together and it feels awesome. It's just so much fun, at least for me. All right, so that's kind of the impression kit of it. All right, now I've done everything from, like I said, I'm like really fan of GWAT, I know, but I have some modern stuff as well. Modern Ranger, Aussie. I'm part of a group that we do Sasser 2 Commando kits from Australia, as well as all the way back into the 80s and 90s. You know, I've done some stuff with the Vietnam era too. Those are great guys. Doing some of those events, like I'm from the Northeast here, event called Broken Arrow events that they put on. You live in the 1960s and early 70s when you go to these events. As soon as you step on, like you're immersed into it, and that's where it's another fun thing about impression kits too. Involving yourself in that immersion. Again, I say LARP for a reason. It's what it is. It's, you know, we can dress it up all we want. It's tactical LARPing, right? But you can transport yourself into that other, whatever, call it another dimension, another reality where, you know, my 9 to 5, my job is gone and everything like that because I've done that research, looked through all those photos, everything like that, gathered the gear, and now I can like kind of relive and be that person who's in that era with that kit. So impression kits, it's not just somewhat about like running around in a bbwarz field in your gear. It's that whole community of building it up and everything and talking to people and doing the research and everything, which a lot of people just get really excited about, you know. So that's the big one in impression kits. Okay, but then we also have the other aspect of it, right? Not everyone's going to want to do that. Some people just want to come and play bbwarz, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that either. So they're going to show up and just be like, all right, I need something to hold a bottle of BBs or some magazines, and I've got a weapon system or something like that, or your replica. Sorry, YouTube might yell at me for that one. Your replica weapon system. And they set it up however they want. You know, like not specifically like, okay, cool, I know that light is kosher for that period. Okay, for the 2008, I might have had a PEC 5, but now I can run the 15 because I'm doing a later 2000. They're just be like, all right, do I need a laser? Yeah, cool, and they're gonna get whatever they want. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I will admit, those times that I do that, I 100% have a cheater gun that I absolutely use. And I'm sure people have seen this. It's my Stoner 60. This thing, it's just not fair. It's based off a real gun, but I have made it so not into a replica. This is just, I call it the Call of Duty, the cheating gun, where I don't need to carry any gear, maybe a bottle of BBs, and a spare battery, and I just get to shoot things. And sometimes that's fun too. Sometimes you need those days. You spend so much time and effort putting all the kit together and being heavy and drawn down, and I will admit, times like when you're doing impression kits, you kind of die a lot more because you're slower than some of these guys. But sometimes you just got to go out there and play. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with those guys doing the research and thinking about how their kit is set up to the level that an impression guy is, but they're primarily focused on the function of their gear. Kind of like how real operators would too, but they have to carry a lot of extra stuff that you wouldn't need in bbwarz. And I'll go over a little bit on this of like what I like to call foo-foo stuff. Like I've got IR cam lights, I've got flex cuffs, I've got bolt cutters for breacher because it's set up like a breacher setup, a team leader breacher setup. You don't need that in an airsoft field, but that's for impression kits. Whereas your functional kit like this, you're not carrying any foo-foo gear. All I'm carrying is stuff to be able to, I just want to either breach rooms or if I'm outdoor, run as fast as I can, stay lightweight, and just rain BBs. And that's why I would use something like this. I mean, you can do it with regular M4, your Crytex and your other ones. I'm just saying you have to have a weird stoner or a saw or anything. when I decide that I don't care about impression kits, I'm going to run around something like this because I don't need to run gear. I don't need to. I can put a bag of BBs in my pocket and run around and have fun. Which is totally fine and fun. Okay, so that's where I got the compare and contrast right there. I've seen both sides of it. I will admit I'm not biased, but yeah, probably biased towards the impression kit era. But I just wanted to be able to explain both of that both are fine. And if you take either one seriously, that's awesome, and I can't wait to meet you on the field and try and outrun you, outpace you, and outshoot you in my heavy old GWAT gear, and you're wearing nothing and using something like this. I'm still excited to meet you and play in the field. But for this video, what I want to get into is kind of like, not what's better, but what brings it out in you guys? What's more fun for you? Just showing up to the field and being like, hey, I got like 60 kills, or hey, I spent 3-4 months building this kit, or years. Sometimes this kit took me years to build. What's more fun, showing up on that with your friends and everyone's like, oh, you found the pouch, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm both. I'm kind of stuck. I know I do love my impression gear and everything, but sometimes, you show up to a game and you just kind of run around and you are just on fire, just clearing rooms and you're flowing and everything. And sometimes you leave those games, I could put all the money and time in the world in the gear, and sometimes I'll have a game like that and I'm just like, all right, I love airsoft again. It's not a freaking waste of money. What do you guys think? I don't know, Fire up the comment section, let me know. This is a fun one. This is fun with me. It's almost my internal debate here. I'm pontificating to you guys. But, I don't know. Let me know. Because I love both of these. They're so much fun. So, now we talked about both and had the debate and how both are awesome. And you guys are going to let me know what you think and everything. I'm going to step on my little high horse or tell you what my final thoughts on it and everything like that. And I will say, I am a little bit more about the gear than the actual bbwarz. I like, of course, I want my gun to function the best that it can be, and I always want the best equipment when it comes to being able to throw BBs. If anyone's seen any of my other videos about like gas blowbacks, have been for this past about year and a half, 2 years, have been kind of the thing I've been really focusing on with trying to get the performance out of it to match an AEG. I know I'm never going to get the cyclic ray and the ammo capacity of an AEG with it. Absolutely. It's just physically impossible. But the range and the accuracy and everything, absolutely will focus on that too and upgrade my guns. But the impression kit community has reawakened my love of airsoft. I have met all my kind of newer friends in airsoft. I took a little sabbatical and then kind of was playing a few times a year, and you show up with, I had my JPC and I had kind of like an SF style kit, and I'd show up and didn't really kind of know anyone new playing or anything. I had some old friends, and then that's it. But I have met a lot of pretty much all of my new airsoft friends that are now a part of this conglomerate, this team, this collective that we've created, all based on impression kits. I met them through doing Aussie impressions, and then that spread out like, oh, hang out with this guy, I'll hang out with this guy, and this whole community came together that was based solely from talking about impressions and gear and everything. And it started, you know, it was on a Discord, and then you meet in person, and then next thing you know, you're in great friends. You're going to milsim West. You're doing all this. You're developing that team mentality, just because we like nylon, because nylon is awesome. I love nylon. I hope you do too. Sorry. I'm kind of crazy. Alright. Kits. This. Impressions. The community is just awesome. I know there's guys out there that sometimes can get a little crazy with the gear about like minute details. I absolutely embrace that. Like if you're that. The hard part is sometimes those guys are a little hard to talk to, or if you're trying to get in with them, sometimes they're just like, oh, whatever that word, farb, you know, and they're just like, oh, it's farb, you can't run it. And it's like, there is that lovely middle ground, all right? And that's kind of one of my closing comments here. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I have my checklist. I'm following it. But community, awesome. It's just like it's I want to say it's 95% awesome. Yeah, there's some guys out there that are just so sticklers for it, and you're just trying to talk to them, and you're like, I can't. All right, you're like, wait, I'm here, and you're like, here. Cool, have fun. If that makes you happy, and you want like, oh, you've got the wrong QR code sticker on your gun, you shouldn't be running it. Good for you, man. You have fun with that. That might be a little bit above like what I see and everything. Like I'm going for overall vibes here, and I do love drawing down into that level of detail, but I try not to push that onto other people. If you basically have something that's in Ranger Green, you're like, oh, it's my Ranger kit, cool, are you happy? Sweet, awesome Ranger kit, man. And I hope that you guys do that too. You push that positivity out, because that's the kind of person they're going to start doing more research, and they're going to be like, oh, my JPC isn't kosher for 08, maybe I should get an EPC, maybe I should get and then it snowballs, and then you become another Geardo, and you're going to be hopefully watching a video like this, listen to me ramble about gear. But anyways, so what draws me into this, what draws people into the the impression community is like that search for the gear, trying to find a good deal on it, trying to find it, especially if it's like an obscure loadout or something, like, you know, like it's kind of cool. All this GWAT stuff's coming back, like early seals and the Ranger stuff, and even some foreign stuff. It's like it's coming back. So trying to find those pouches it's kind of fun, right? Frustrating at times, but it's kind of fun. So that draws a lot of people in, is that search. You know, it keeps that brain stimulated. It keeps you always, you know, every once in a while you're on the phone, you're looking through eBay or TaxSwap or anywhere, you know, Discord forums or the Facebook groups. There's so many places that you can find this kit now. But that's another thing, and that leads to connections with people, building that community. Next thing you know, you meet someone, and then you fly out, you go do a milsim West out west, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, I know you sold me this, or hey, I talked to you on this forum about this kit. Brings people together. It absolutely does. All right, community that builds friends. Like I don't know if when you're if you guys watch videos, I'm assuming you guys maybe watch some of the same videos I do, but when you look at some of these impression groups and everything, that yeah, their level of attention to detail might like throw some people off, but I implore you, or just give it a shot, maybe take a look at it and everything, and if it's something that like looks really cool to you, maybe embrace it a little bit. Like you got some of these bigger teams out there, like it all started, at least from me, like on the Dev 6 forum. If you guys know what that is, you guys, you're one of my people. But it's still around. Dev 6 is still around. They're making gear now, but it used to be just a forum, and it was all about Development Group 6, the guys who did seal kits, and then it broadened out, and these guys were that minute detail, like, oh, the QR code, and it seemed kind of like, all right, you guys are getting way too in it. But they're actually really cool, because you guys look legit. You guys look awesome. And just the level of communication they had with each other, and these guys were worldwide. So they're making connections worldwide through that. But you've got other teams out there right now that just look awesome because of their impression kits and everything like that. You got your German guys, your KVB guys, you know, the Ranger guys, Rob Rag, and then also your Mayhem guys. I mean, this is all mostly milsim West based teams and everything, but like those guys roll together and you're like, oh man, they look really cool. Impression kits. It does it. I swear. Alright, but circling back to the point and then of impression kits and the point of it all. We're here to play bbwarz, right? We're here to go have fun with friends, and as they say, in our magical costumes with our magical friends in the made-up world that we have it. So if you do get into impression kits, or you're currently doing impression kits, have fun with it. All right? There's a good friend of mine that I've met through impression kits and everything that operates a YouTube channel, and he does a very good video on breakdowns on like, hey, you want to get into impression gear, so I don't want to troll on, or not troll, stop over his video. His name's The Gear Locker. I'll put the thing up. Go check his stuff out, because some of the attention to detail that this guy has on his kits, especially for like 80s Nam, and then like he does really good 90s special forces like Black Hawk Down and stuff like that. Go check his stuff out, because he says kind of the same thing I do. But your impression kits, take your time building it, and don't be worried about running it incomplete. That's my personal thing right there. Is like, I know sometimes it's just like, oh, my kit's halfway done, or like might be stupid, but it means a lot to me, is I run this kit and I have G3 cries. It doesn't really match, because those weren't out when this kit was designed for, and it's kind of like, you know, it's a little tick right there. That's scratching the tism a little bit, but I'm still gonna run it because I want to. I want to feel cool. I want to run it. Like, there's nothing like getting all this gear and be like, oh, well, it's not complete. Some people are like that. They're like, oh, nope, it's not complete. I don't want to run it. Perfectly fine if that's what makes you happy, but don't limit yourself. If you're like, man, I really want to run it, but everyone's gonna make fun of me because I got the wrong pants. Just run it. Have fun. Have fun with it. Really, it's worth it, you know? Luckily, I have a pair of G2s coming. I finally found a set, but still, my point is, have fun with it. Either have fun building it until that time where it's like, it's complete. I get to bring it out into the world. I'm excited. Or, piece by piece, put it together and still run it. Whatever makes you happy. That's the whole point of this, right? Whatever makes you happy. But that's my rant. I know this video was a little bit more of a rant, but I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of engagement here, you know. Let me know what you guys think, you know, dialogue, or, hey, this video was stupid, teach me more about comms or something, because you guys love the comms videos, but I'm trying. I needed to get some more stuff for the comms stuff. You know, this ran out of stuff to talk about. But, again, thanks for letting me rant and ramble here. I know this one was a little bit of a weird video and a deep dive more into like what personally makes me tick and makes me love this sport and love this community, hobby, people, whatever you want to call it. I know, but this stuff, the nylon and the gear and the kit that brings us all together, and then eventually meeting on the playing field and then exchanging fire, or being on the same side because like, hey, I'm dressed in this. Hey, you got a cool kit. Let's roll together. You know. That's just what this is all about, this community, bringing people together and everything, which is why I love it and why I started this YouTube channel. And from everyone that's either subscribed or commented on my previous videos, or if you do it on this video, thank you so much. It makes me so excited that I get to like wake up and I see a notification that says, hey, someone commented on a video. I get so excited and just can't wait to talk to you guys and continue this dialogue, whether or not it's about gear or just about anything in general. I just love it, and I hope you guys do too. You guys are the reason why I do it and everything. And once again, thank you so much for letting me rant and ramble and just tickle the tism a little bit right here. I thank you again, and everyone have a fantastic evening, and keep it safe, keep playing bbwarz, and if I can see you, you're at the field, come over and say hi to me. I'd love to meet you. See you later, guys.